message would you give to someone struggling to manage or accept that they have cancer?
That's a good question. It's hard, but you're gonna fucking beat it. You're gonna fucking do it.
What's your name? What are your gender pronouns? And how old are you?
My name is Nidia. My gender pronouns are she, her, and I'm 20 years old.
What are you passionate about?
Bringing awareness to topics that people don't really discuss about.
Like what topics?
Like right now, cancer, because I just went through that, and also immigration, like being undocumented in this country, and how like how hard it is to live like that sometimes.
Yeah, in this country, meaning the United States of America?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your race and ethnicity?
I'm Hispanic. I'm Costa Rican Peruvian.
Where were you born?
Here.
Okay, in the U.S.? Where did you grow up? Did you grow up here or did you move?
Oh, I'm from Bound Brook.
Oh, where is that?
It's like 45 minutes away.
Oh, that's not bad. How is that environment?
It was okay.
It's okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to talk more about it or not really?
No.
Okay, we can pass that. Do you like Newark better?
Yeah.
What do you like about Newark?
Probably like the opportunities that there are here, kind of. Because I didn't think I would go to like a four-year school before coming to Rutgers, Newark. So like going through like community college and then coming here, I feel like Rutgers has like so much to offer here. So yeah. And it's so diverse too. Newark is really diverse.
Yeah, it is,
so,
right?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your major?
Criminal justice.
What is your definition of disability?
An individual who needs help, I guess. Not like needs help, but like needs extra support with whatever they're going through at the moment. Whatever disability they have.
Okay.
Yeah.
When is the first time you've seen someone with a disability in the media?
In the media?
That can be like TV.
I didn't really, before I had a disability, I didn't really thought I saw anyone until I became disabled. There was one Hispanic, she's an actor. She had breast cancer. Her name is Ana Marie Lopez. That's someone she's Hispanic. She's also I think she's first generation. But she migrated here and then she had cancer and overcame that. So I feel like that's someone that like represents kind of me, like who I admire.
Okay, so you would say that portrayal was a positive one?
Yeah, a positive one.
Have you seen any negative ones? Like in TV shows or movies?
Disabilities?
Yeah.
Negative? No.
Not really?
No.
Okay. You mentioned that you recently had cancer. Do you currently have it?
It's kind of limbo right now because they found a tumor in my pancreas. But they're gonna tell me in April, beginning of April, I'm gonna get more scans done to see if it's still disease or if I will just have to need surgery and get rid of it. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does make sense.
Okay. Sorry, I'm overthinking.
No, it's okay. Take your time. No need to. What is your definition of cancer?
A deadly disease. Well, not certain times it's not deadly, but it just feels like it's so deadly because of the treatments that they give you. It basically kills you, kind of. So definition of cancer would be a horrible disease for me.
Can you share the moment you realized you had cancer?
When I had cancer, the moment I realized, well, I don't think you actually realize you have cancer because it's just like, it just comes out of nowhere. But there was kind of signs, like I was bloated all the time. It was very, like my abdomen was just very hard, I guess. But when I found out I was getting a physical done for cheerleading. And they were like examining like a regular physical. And once they got to my abdomen, they knew that something wasn't right. So then they sent me to the hospital, and that's when the hospital told me that they did my scans and that it was possibly cancer. So that's how.
How did you feel in that moment?
I felt like I was gonna die. like, people don't really talk about it that much, because once you hear cancer, you feel like, oh my god, like, it's like you're dying, like you're gonna die, like that's like your death sentence. But it's really not. I don't think so. I feel like it's just a very bad disease that not everyone gets to like, luckily not everyone experiences it. Because it's just horrible.
How old were you when you got that diagnosis?
In October.
In October of 2021?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, and it's currently March.
Yes.
So how do you feel like you've changed since October to now?
I feel like I've just, with the disease, it's kind of like a blessing and a curse, because you realize who your true friends are and who's actually willing to help out and like support you through like the roughest time of your life, and who's just there just for like parties and stuff, and like not actually really your friend. That's what cancer taught me a lot. And self-discovery too, I guess. Like I'm trying to figure out who I am post-cancer. I just feel like I'm just never the same person that I was prior to cancer. So I'm still trying to reflect and I don't know, become a better person post-cancer.
What have you learned about yourself?
I feel like I would give too much benefit of the doubt to people. Like I gave people too many chances. I had a very open heart before. I didn't know how to say no. Yeah, that was a big issue that I had before. But now I know how to set boundaries. I know what's good I do know what's good for me. And yeah.
Okay, that's good. What kind of cancer do you have?
Ovarian cancer.
Ovarian?
Yeah.
Can you describe that?
It's like there was a tumor on my right ovary. That was more than a baby, more than a ruler. And what do you want me to describe?
What type of cancer it is?
Oh, type of cancer? Okay, so it's ovarian cancer. It's a very deadly disease. Well, not deadly, sorry. It's a very quiet disease, because you just, as women, we don't really know, like, if something is abnormal, especially in our stomachs, because, I don't know, I feel like it's just when you're on your period, you're bloated. And that's what I thought. I was just like, oh, I'm just bloated, like, all the time. But in reality, it was just a much more serious issue. And I feel like we don't really talk about it enough. When something's wrong with our bodies, we just let it go. And like we don't speak up when we know it's wrong and it's not supposed to be like that. Yeah.
So you would give people that message to
Yes.
listen to their bodies?
Yes, especially as women. Like, please listen to your, when you know it's not right and the doctors are telling you it's normal, no. Like, you know your body more. Like, you should speak up.
Yeah. What do you think is the biggest misconception that most people have about people with cancer?
Okay. I feel like just because I say I have cancer, people look at me as a disease and not a person. That's a huge misconception. When I'm, besides the cancer stuff, besides, me not having, like, losing my hair because of chemotherapy, like, I'm a person. Like, I still have likes, dislikes. Like, I just don't want to talk about cancer 24/7 sometimes. And people fail to realize that like, that's not all that there is to me, just a disease. Like, I'm still a person. I still have feelings. Yeah, just like, feel like people should just treat people who have cancer as a person and like as a friend, and just don't think of them as a disease.
What do you think influences people to have these misconceptions?
Yeah, media.
The media?
The media, I feel like. Whenever like St. Jude's or like all these advertisements of cancer, we just see like a sick person, bald head. In reality, like, cancer, anyone could have cancer, and like you won't know it, because some people just don't even want to speak up about it, because like I said, like, they look at you as a disease. So I feel like media portrays a lot of that, like, but because you don't see like someone that actually looks like you, and you just see like a bald person. So that's what I feel like people fail to realize, that besides that, there's actually like a person, like an individual who has feelings and like dislikes. And yeah.
How do you think the media can improve how they portray people with cancer?
I feel like people should talk more about post-cancer and how it is trying to recover. And I feel like the media only ever talks about when you're going through cancer, and once you're done with cancer, you're like forgotten. It's like you just get pushed into society and try to live your life as like normal as possible. But in reality, your life is never the same after cancer. It's like you're trying to find out who you are all over again. Like you're like being reborn, basically. Mm-hmm. And I feel like the media should talk more about that instead of just talking. Even though the disease is horrible, people should talk more about what it is being like post-cancer and how people should really, how do I say this? People should just bring more awareness. Like, I don't know. Like, talk about how it is beating cancer, I guess. Like, talk about how it made you stronger as a person, or like, there's just so much that, I don't know, the media just doesn't cover, and just covers when you're going through cancer and not after. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How did your family and friends react to you getting cancer?
Yeah, some people try to make it about themselves. Yeah, it's crazy. People that you don't know all of a sudden know you, and they want to help, like, not help out, but they want to basically get clout from you, I guess, in a way. Like, oh, like, I knew her, or I know her, like, that's horrible. Like, I can't imagine what she's going through, but you're not going through it. But they want to make it about themselves sometimes, so they could get the grief as well from others. It's very messed up. I think it's crazy. But my family and friends, I lost a lot of friends from cancer because a lot of people just don't know how to react to it, and they just like push you away. So I lost a lot of friends. My family, I didn't want to tell them at first that I had cancer because I was embarrassed. I was like, oh, like, that's because, like I said, like, a lot of people just don't talk about it, and like you just see like a bald person, and like the physical changes. So I didn't really tell my family until my doctor made me tell my family. But I feel like they grieved a lot, but just didn't show it to me. And then my friends, I lost a lot, but then I realized who my real friends were at the time. So yeah.
Why did your doctor make you tell your family if you weren't ready?
She didn't want me to go through it alone. Because she said it was going to be very intense, chemotherapy. And she knew I would need the support. And cancer is rough. And doing it alone is just, it messes up your mental health a lot. So, yeah.
Do you feel like that was the right decision for you in the end?
To tell my family?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You sound like you're a bit hesitant.
I don't know, because we don't really talk about emotions that much in my household. So, like, when we talk about cancer, it's just like, I don't think they knew how to react, because they were more so angry at me at the fact that I was sick.
But you can't control that.
Yeah, but because then there's bills they have to pay. They have to get off work. They have to be my caregiver, and with them being like their status not their immigration status not that great, they really can't get help from the government. So that's why I was kind of like, I felt like a burden sometimes to them, but I knew they loved me. They do love me, but I feel like at the time I was just not ready to tell them because of the burden that I thought I was gonna be. But I think I came to realize that it wasn't a mistake that I told them. But it was kind of good because I brought awareness to them, I guess, of what it is having cancer, and they actually saw me going through what I was going through, and offering to help at the end of the day. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you spoke a little bit about your family having to pay some of the costs.
Mm-hmm.
Did your insurance cover any of it?
Insurance did cover most of it, but you know, when like you have to always, because my parents don't drive, so I would have to get rides from people, or paying when if I were to drive, I would have to always pay the parking costs, which is unbelievable because I would go every single day to the cancer center for months, and that adds up, like, you know, like always getting charged the parking fees.
It's interesting that they have parking fees.
Yeah, right. When you're a cancer patient.
What ways do you think the U.S. government can improve their health system?
I feel like healthcare should be free for all, honestly, because say my treatment didn't get cost or my insurance didn't cover it, I would have to pay out of pocket. I would have to work, have a job at the same time while being treated, which is horrible, having to go through chemotherapy and working at the same time. Like, I really don't wish that on anyone. But I just feel like there's so much work to be done with the healthcare system, especially when you're sick and like you can't manage to pay for it, which is why I feel like insurance or like Medicare or anything, or like, I don't know, like I just feel like healthcare is like, people, like the government doesn't really pay attention much to that, and they really should, because paying for that is just so much, and then having to work on the side as well while you're being treated for like the hardest things in life. It's just, no one should go through that. Mm-hmm. And when other countries have free healthcare, why can't we as well?
Do you mind kind of describing the treatment you've received, like chemotherapy?
Yeah, so I was under a lot of chemotherapy drugs. I don't remember the exact names, but usually I would do, on my long days for 7 hours, I would do 2 hours of hydration. I think on certain days I would do 3 chemos. So that's 1 hour each bag. So that's 3 hours, 3, 4, 5. And then 2 hours in the end for more hydration. So that's 7 hours in a day. And I would do that treatment 7 hours every day for Monday through Friday. Saturday I would have my shot, which would help my immune system, I guess, with my white blood cells. So I would get that shot Saturdays. And then I would get like a break. I would go back the following Tuesday for chemo, get a break, then go back Tuesday for a bit, have a break, and then repeat every day, Monday through Friday, 7 hours every day, for about 4 monds.
Wow. So did you do anything outside of that, like when you went home and stuff?
No, because chemo kills you. Like I said, like it's not cancer that kills you, but chemo, it's very deadly. Like you feel like you're dying. You don't want to do anything. You're nauseous 24/7. You don't want to get out of bed. You just want to sleep all day because of the intense chemo that they put in your body. Yeah.
How did people react to your diagnosis?
A lot of people were very generous and were willing to help. And then there were others that wanted to make it about themselves. For example, when I was diagnosed, I really didn't want that many people to know. I wanted my circle to be very, very small, people that I trusted, until word got out, I guess, where I'm from, and this lady decided to announce my diagnosis without my permission online, and I wasn't ready at the time, so I just brushed it off until people were willing to help, and wanted her to make a GoFundMe, which I just thought was inappropriate because she wasn't the one, or I didn't really know her like that as well. So they were asking her to make the GoFundMe, even though she wasn't the one that was going through cancer diagnosis. So I decided to make the GoFundMe myself, even though I was not ready at all to tell anyone about it. So I just feel like people just shouldn't make it about themselves, and just ask the main person that is being diagnosed, what can I do to help you when you're going through something as rough as that, especially a cancer diagnosis. And don't make it about yourself. Don't say I knew her, or I went to school with her, or we were on cheerleading or something, and so you get sympathy out of it. Just don't do that, and just go to that person, direct person, and ask them, what can I do to help you? Yeah.
That's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
How can able-bodied people better support people with disabilities?
Don't treat them differently. I just feel like when people see you as a disease, they think like you're different, when like you're really not. You're just like everyone else, but you just need like a little bit of extra help. So I just feel like people that are able-bodied should be open-minded and not treat them any differently than you would as a normal person without a disability.
What message would you give to someone struggling to manage or accept that they have cancer?
That's a good question. It's hard, but you're gonna fucking beat it. You're gonna fucking do it. And I wish I had someone or anyone to tell me that I could do it, because when you don't have anyone, it really messes up your mental health. So the message for anyone that is getting the diagnosis or going through treatment, there's gonna be a light at the end of the tunnel. And I want literally everyone to know that, because sometimes there's those rough days where you just want to give up, but just don't fucking give up. You got it. Even though you don't think you have it, and you got it. I know it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Thanks.
Where can people find you? And would you like to share any projects you're currently working on, if you are?
I'm not working on any projects right now, but you can find me on Instagram, which I talk a lot about cancer, and I do a lot of awareness on there too, which is, my Instagram is long, but it's NNIIDDII, and then 3 A's. And I bring a lot of awareness for young adults with cancer, and I recorded my cancer journey on there too, so if people want to look at that and see what I went through through my eyes, it's a little stuff there. So,
okay, that's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any final words for those watching?
Treat people with kindness, because you really don't know what they're going through. At the end of the day, a lot of people really don't talk about their battles, because I don't know, a lot of people just don't want to talk about what they're going through. So I just feel like, guys, just be nice to people, because you really don't know what they're going through. So yeah.